All right, in the lead up to the final ritual, I'm going to go over the sequence of the energies they've been harnessing and steering in us, both in the time zone of the occurrence of the ritual, as well as the time zone of the apparent um, coordination for those. Leading up, this is for the previous three rituals, leading up to the final ritual. So the first ritual, September 11th, you had fixed fire going into mutable earth. Okay. Fixed fire, also in the nakshatras. You had Purva Falguni. This is a Venus nakshatra. And Venus was in Ashlesha. Venus being Ashlesha, this was mind games. And Purva Falguni, rather, Purva Falguni, this is about um, the kingship, you achieving kingship and relishing in the perks of kingship, whereas here is the relishing in the duties of kingship. This one, they brought this energy, relishing in our feelings of kingship, to mutable earth, changing our perception of our resources. They shocked us with this one, with what we pay attention to here in Hasta. Hasta, a Sanskrit word where we get the word hostile from, even though hostile in this sense is what we pay attention, where we should put our hands, where we should put our hands in working. That is hasta. Hostile means a negative aspect in English. Second ritual in Fukushima, Japan, they brought fixed air, which is can be represented by all four elements, which is water, the obvious water. Can also mean air, which is radiation. Can also mean fire. I'm sorry, fire is a radiation. Air, which is the air element. It's fixed air, as well as earth, which could be DNA, two strands of DNA. So this is all four schools that you learn here, that you can learn here. But in this case, it's going to be fixed air and the heat of the sun, because the sun is here, and they're going to bring it to experience. The radiation they brought to water. This is the deep water, which turns out to be the ocean. They put radiation in the water. That's at this moment of the event. So now the third ritual, this one, which I have no knowledge of the details, but it happened in this time zone, according to news, big news at the time. They had to publicize something. So they took fixed water, which is our decision in our brain and in our body to either do something sexual or do something learned, um, where we go into the guru. If not, we revert back and bring all of our energy into thinking about the body, and instead of going forward and thinking about our future, is as well as individuals. So here they brought fixed water to Sagittarius, to mutable fire. So the experience here was they're going to teach somebody who the real master is. This is the house of Zeus. Jupiter in Sagittarius is Zeus, just as, because this is the Jupiter element here. And the other Jupiter element here This is Jupiter in, when Jupiter is here, this is Poseidon, not this. This is the mythological Poseidon, whereas this, Neptune, is just a bridge between imagination, as imagination, between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Okay, it is water, but it is not. It has no karma here. The karma here comes from Jupiter being here. That is Poseidon, and here it is Zeus. The third god, I'm not going to go into, but I wonder where the third god is. That's a mystery that's hidden in the zodiac. I will get that. I will reveal that in a future video. But in this case, so they brought whoever is undecided here, they brought to school who the real master is. That's what happened in this third ritual. It wasn't public. The details was not public, except for the fact that something happened that day. And here's the fourth ritual. Now, the fourth ritual is going to be fixed earth, resources, homes, property, things we work on for our living that we trust. Here is actual results. Our work did the work we wanted it to do. That's what this is about. But this is actually having the resources. Having the resources going into mutable air, which is going to be a new law, a new way of dealing with fixed resources. All to be managed by Mercury. What experiences they give you with Jupiter. Big expansion. That's what this is going to imply for this date. Now that is in this time zone. Now in the apparent coordination for this, because it is the prime meridian. This is only the prime meridian. Here in the ascent, if this is for September 11th, what you had on that day, at the time of the first plane impact, you had in the prime meridian, you have the ascendant, their ascendant going into Scorpio, just going into Scorpio, just leaving Libra. They did this perfectly as the energies just came into Scorpio, fixed water, into maritime law energy, military law energy, assigning it, affixing it, making it right for them. That's what this was for September 11th. The second ritual for Fukushima, because Fukushima is ahead in the day, Greenwich was back in time into the previous day. This is March 10th. I will show you, just so you understand. Here was Fukushima at dawn. At dawn, which was only half an hour, 30 minutes before the event happened. It was March 11th, 2011 at 6 a.m. was at Greenwich Mean Time, March 10th at 21:01 at 9 p.m. So it is the same moment. So here on the same moment, 21:30 instead of 21:01, 21:30, their ascendant was in Libra, which is making laws. They were going to make laws, and it had this easy triangle for them to make things easy. All they had to do was make an event, put it on air, Gemini, have it reflect back towards Rahu here in Sagittarius, which is in the house of lordship, the house of their control, the house of duty and philosophy of what we should be doing in this position. Trust Ketu here in Gemini, trust the word that they give us, and then use this line from what we see to duty to steer us to how they want us to think. And in their third house, which is laws of the air, they were receiving the since they were the masters, they were receiving that they were the guru, that they were Zeus. So that's what happened in this moment because they broadcast everything. Everything was remote. Nothing was hands-on for them that day. So there's that energy. Then in this energy, on the third um, ritual in the Greenwich time zone, you have uh, uh, a cardinal air with Venus there, its own house, going into mutable water. The same as the first ritual. Mutable, I'm sorry, uh, uh, cardinal air going into mutable water. They brought the law to maritime jurisdiction. Same thing here. They brought law to maritime, which is also military jurisdiction. The same thing. It was a military jurisdiction. I can't go any further than that in this video. Check time. So in the upcoming event for on June 11th in this time zone, okay, you have fixed fire as the ascendant, and this is at the moment that the event's going to happen. It has cardinal water in the 12th house, so this is the moon of emotional involvement paired with the sun in the aspect of loss to the sun, because the 12th house is loss. So emotional involvement is detached from lordship, which means the Lord is selfish. Leo is supposed to be the kingship, the masculine, dispersing of resources, while Cancer is the source of those resources, the source of divinity, the great mother. Okay, here it's in the 12th house. This is the house where Pisces should be. So they're taking cardinal water and treating it like it's Pisces, like it's Cetus, the Kraken, Tiamat, where we should be treating it like it's Andromeda. This is Andromeda. Okay, you must remember the reason the king does what he wants is that usually the queen is behind him. But in this case, when in Leo's, the queen is always buried in the 12th house. This is the source of his wealth. And the 12th house is the house of loss, the house of burying. He buries his own liberation here, as if he never wants to leave his throne. In this scenario, he's taking cardinal water and agitating it. In this scenario, he's taking cardinal water, taking cardinal water and treating it by pushing it into the ocean, turning and this is going to happen with fixed fire doing it. This means lordship. It doesn't mean particle energy. It doesn't mean that's agitation. That's Aries or firing a weapon. This is fixed fire. This is decisions, point point decision making. And checking on time. This means lordship because it's going to be by decision. This is the energy that the king grants. This is going to be an order. The king makes decisions from here, hands out resources to people. This is the Mufasa imagery, the circle of life, the good king. Whereas what they treat it as exclusion, the pleasures of being the king without any of the duty, because they get rid of the mother. So from here, now I'm going to go into the particulars of that day.